today I'm here with Stassi and we will be doing an updated top knot routine. Now I did do a top knot video, but she was a little bit younger and since then her hair has gotten a lot longer. So I wanted to show you guys a quick video on how I'm doing her top knot now because her hair is a little bit longer. She is 6 months old now and so we have a lot more hair to deal with. I will also be doing updated top knot videos and updated grooming videos and updated morning routine videos as her hair grows, because obviously when her hair gets into more of an adult coat, we will be doing things differently than what I've shown you so far. We're gonna start off with her being already cleaned for the day. So I have already cleaned her face and you can see that in the daily routine video. You want to make sure that you keep your Shih Tzu's face clean and dry every day, and this also applies to Yorkies, Maltese, any of the breeds that have you know, a staining problem or, you know, eyes that kind of water a little bit. You want to make sure to prevent tear stains that you keep the face dry. So we have already done her morning routine with washing her face and putting the drying powder on, and now we are ready to do the top knot. So I have her on her grooming pillow, and if you do top knots, grooming pillows are a must. They make things much easier and allows your pet to rest just like this so that you can get your job done. So we will be using the 5-inch Chris Christensen butter comb. This is the face comb. I already have my bow picked out, and today we're going to use this fancy bow here by Deb Vaden. And I have already placed 3 of the little 5/16 bands here on the side because that is what I'll be using. So it's a good idea to get your supplies all out and ready before you start. That way you have everything at your fingertips. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing that I have done is I have made a part right here across her stop and combed it down on one side and then combed the hair down on the other side so that it's nice and even across. Now this top knot is going to be different than the top knot that I did in my previous video because because her hair has gotten long enough to do this, and even though this is not going to be perfect yet because her hair needs to still get a whole lot longer in order to achieve what I want to achieve. But 2, also her breeder, you know, messaged me on Facebook when she saw a few of her pictures, and she's like, Roxanne, you need to make the poof. And so I'm like, I know I need to make the poof, but she didn't have enough hair to make the poof before. But now I did kind of start practicing making the poof in the front, and it is coming out a lot better than what I had been doing. But in my defense, she didn't have enough hair to do the poof. So that's that makes a difference. You need to have some hair up there in order to do this. And like I said, the more hair she gets, because this hair will grow a whole lot longer, the better this top knot will become. Okay, so once you have your part made, then you are going to smooth the hair back on the forehead, or on the head actually. Then you're going to take a section, not too deep, probably about a 1/2 inch deep, and you're going to want to part it and then pull the hair up so that you can see if you're even. Your hair on the sides are going to be from the corner of the eye on this side to the corner of the eye on that side. So once you have this little section pulled up, you're going to pull it forward, and then with the fine tooth part of your comb, you're going to tease it. So you're going to back tease it. So this is the different part from what I was doing before. I was not teasing it. And if you don't tease it, then you can't get a poof. And you want a little poof because you don't want it straight up to where it looks like the eyes are being pulled. So you want that nice poof, and it gives them a much softer look, and it also just looks better. So once you have this little section teased, then you can kind of lightly comb it. Don't take your tease out, and then pull it up in the front. And I apologize if this angle is not the best. I'm doing this by myself. I don't have anyone filming with me this morning to hold the camera. So I'm hoping that you can see exactly what's going on here. But you can see we're pretty teased up there. Then you're gonna take your comb and you're gonna lightly comb the front. You don't wanna take your tease out, remember, because that's where your fluff is. So then once you have, oh no, come on. Once you have that lightly combed, she's slipping. Our angle is a little off because I was trying to get this so that you can see on an angle. So I am on an angle doing this, and it's a little bit difficult. So you want to, like I said, Stassi, come on. You want to lightly comb the front so that it'll be neat in the front. And then you're going to hold it sort of towards the top. And then you're going to take a 5/16 band. And you're going to wrap it around 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then I just always kind of pull a little bit on the sides evenly so that this kind of puffs out a little bit more. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to take a piece of hair from the back. So just a little section from the back with one hand. And then with your other hand, you're going to grab your bands, and at the same time, you're going to pull up on this piece and you're going to push down on the bands. And you're pushing down on the bands towards the head. All right. And then you're going to want to look from the front to make sure that you're even on both sides. Okay, so I don't know if the camera is going to pick up the poof, but you can see, hopefully you can see, that this is not as taut as my previous top knots. So see, you can see that there is quite a little poof there in the front. And my breeder was telling me that you want the poof to come out to the level of the nose. So if I turn her sideways, I think you'll be able to see that this poof comes out to the level of her nose. And like I said, this poof will get a lot better as her hair gets longer. So that's the first section. Then you're going to take the second section, which is right behind that section. And I'm not real precise with this. I mean, I just kind of part it on one side and then kind of part it on the other side. And I take a section probably about 1 inch deep right now. And I pull that up. And you'll want to back tease this section as well to kind of make that poof out. And then you're going to want to take a 5/16 band and band that section together. Again, don't put the band too close to the head. You want to be kind of high up. Okay. Then now that that section is band, you have two separate sections in your top knot. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take a piece of the back and then you're going to push down on that band. But this time I'm pushing it forward a little bit because I don't want to push it straight down because I don't want my two bands to go together like that. I want it to kind of go together like that to maintain my poof. So I'm pushing it forward, and that way it goes a little bit closer to the scalp, but not back, if that makes sense. Okay, so once we have our both top knots in, then we're going to be ready to place the bow. Sometimes I know the camera doesn't really focus on these bows. I guess they're so blingy that it's hard for the camera to really focus and pick it up. Okay, so the next thing is, like I said, we will be placing the bow. So you're going to take the bands on the back and you're going to place the bands right over this first top knot. Now there are always two bands on each bow. And I believe that the reason they do this is so that in case one of them pops, you have a spare. But in my experience, and you know, I've mentioned this before, I am not a professional groomer. I am not a show person. I am just a regular person that likes to do this stuff. So I just like to share with you what I have come across and the things that work for me as just a pet owner. But in my experience, I have a hard time if I use just one of the bands. Sometimes the bow doesn't lay right. So I like to use both bands. So I put my finger through both bands and I kind of put both fingers like this so that I can grab the rubber band that is on this top knot and place this right below that. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm holding on to that top knot with my two fingers so that we don't mess it up, and then I'm slowly pulling the hair that was sticking out through those bands so that your band on your bow sits right underneath your band that it was on your top knot. So now we have our bow placed. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to lock in the bow using another 5/16 band. Now you want to make sure, like I said, to not pull this back like this when you're doing the bow. You want to kind of place this so that this goes forward when you're not the bow, the band. When you place this, you want to kind of pull it forward. Okay, I see a little piece of hair I don't think belongs there. So I'm gonna just comb that out. All right, so I have my 5/16 band in my hand. I'm pulling the back section forward. I'm holding on to both sections and close to the head so that I'm not messing up my poof. I am going to wrap this band around, usually twice is good. And that's going to sit right on top of all of the bands so that this bow cannot go anywhere. All right, so that is our updated top knot. As you can see, she is quite lazy most of the time. Sometimes she's a little feisty up here, but most of the time she's pretty lazy and laid back. But this is what I am doing now at 6 months old. So as her hair gets longer and longer, this will change. I will do updated videos on it. And then also this little piece here, as her hair grows, is going to just come down instead of poking up like a little water fountain up there. So that's going to look different too. And that's about it. So this is a 5/8. This is a 5/8 bow. So this is a double loop 5/8 size. And this is what she is usually wearing most days as a 6-month-old puppy. So you want to make sure that you use the appropriate size bow in your top knots. And I'll be doing a video all about bows, the sizes, the backings, and all of that information. I will be doing that video soon. Let's take her out of her little pillow. Are you gonna sit up and tell everybody hi? You're gonna sit up and tell everybody hello so they can see your pretty face? All right, so this concludes this video. And as always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. We appreciate all of the comments that we get. We love reading them. And also, please like this video and subscribe. Thanks, bye. Say bye, Zazie. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. You want a cheese, please? Do you want a cheese, please?